Afikomon. We know that there's a big custom to steal the Afikomon. In my house where I grew up, we stole it. Everyone I talk to steals the Afikomon. Where's that custom come from? Where do people learn to steal the Afikomon? It's not such a Jewish thing to steal things. I think the source is found in the Gemara in Sperling Pesach, page 108. The Gemara there gives advice about how to make the Seder interesting in order that the children will stay awake. And one of the things the Gemara there says is, Chotfim matzot. Chotfim matzot. A literal translation would be, we grab the matzah in order that the children shouldn't sleep. The Rishonim, the early rabbis, have a big discussion there. What does it mean to chotef matzah, to grab the matzah? Some people explain that it means to grab and remove the Seder plate. Some of them even go so far as to say it doesn't mean chotfim matzah, but chotfim matzot, the mitzvot. We grab the mitzvahs, the Seder plate that has all the mitzvahs on it, the shank bone and the egg and the karpas. We grab it and remove that. What will that help? The children who are now at the beginning of the Seder will see that you're moving the Seder plate away, and they'll think that you're packing up and going home. And then they'll say, what are we doing? We haven't even eaten yet. And as soon as they're interested in asking questions and seeing a difference, they'll stay around and awake for the Seder. I'll tell you a story. I remember once in my Seder, all the normal questions, manish tana, and all the normal things we do, dipping the karpas, that my children know from kindergarten. That they're all ready for. I had to do something to awaken them, something different. So one year, just before Manish Tanah, when it says that we remove the Seder plate, I not only removed the Seder plate, but looked at my watch and said, kids, really sorry. It's very late, you have to go to bed. And I started clearing the table. I got up, I moved the plates and the forks and the cup. I said, into bed. My brother, who was at the table, also understood very quickly, and he got up and he took all his children and he said, come, we have to put our coats on and go home. Maybe we were a little too serious. The little kids, one of them starts crying. He says, but Abba, we haven't even said Manish Tanah yet. Oh, I said, if you're asking questions, if you want to stay awake and ask questions, we can keep doing the Seder. So that's the first explanation of the Gemara. Chotfim matzah, we remove the Seder plate. The second explanation is, chotfim, we grab, we eat quickly. What does it mean we eat quickly? It means that we should eat the matzah quickly and not spend a long time in the meal in order that the children shouldn't fall asleep, because they have to stay awake for the part of the Seder even after the meal. The third explanation is that we grab the matzah from the mouth of the children. The rabbis explain that when a child eats a lot of food and feels stuffed, then they fall asleep. We don't want them to fall asleep. We want them to stay awake. How do we do that? We grab the matzah out of their hand, that they won't eat too much, and by doing that, we make sure they won't fall asleep. Rambam gives a very interesting explanation. The Rambam explains that we grab the matzot one from the other in order that the children should see us doing something strange and ask questions. We grab the matzot one from the other. You can imagine Uncle Chaim, Auntie Olive, grabbing the matzot one from the other. It's mine, it's mine. The kids will look, they'll stay awake, they'll be interested. From that, probably comes our custom to steal the Afikomon. In some communities, the children steal it from the head of the household. In some communities, the head of the household hides it and the children have to find it. And in some communities, the children hide it and the adults have to find it. But however it is, the stealing of the Afikomon is a way to keep the children interested and awake for the Seder. If that's true, we have to make sure that we don't let the stealing of the Afikomon steal the story of the leaving of Egypt. The essence of the evening is we should read the Haggadah and tell our children if we left Egypt. But if all they're doing all night is running around from room to room looking for the matzah, the Afikomon, then the means has taken over the ends. In my house, I put the matzah aside and I say to the children, this is the Afikomon, but no one's allowed to go and try and hide it or take it from me until the meal. Pay attention to the meal. After the meal, when we get to the meal, when all the adults are sitting, talking and eating during the meal, you can go off and play with the Afikomon. Then, when I get to the end of the meal, I look and I'm totally astonished. Where's the Afikomon? In my house, I make sure that we give a prize to every child, not just the ones who found the Afikomon. I make sure that the prizes aren't astronomical, a book, some chocolate, a small prize. And then, the main thing is to remember, after we found the Afikomon, we should eat it in order that the last thing in our mouth should be the taste of matzah. We should all have a Pesach, Chag Kasher v'Sameach. We should all merit to find the Afikomon and have a Kodesh Baruch Hu answer all our desires. Chag Sameach.